Is a 400cc bike faster than a 200cc bike?
It depends on a lot of factors. It depends on the cylinders involved, the aerodynamics of the bike, the weight of the bike, and the type of bike it is. Like a 400cc Triumph motorcycle is definitely not as fast as a 250cc inline 4 Honda.
What are your views on the entire electric bikes also coming into the market?
Electric ones just feel like you're riding a toy bike, frankly.
So you're so much into automobiles. Be in automobile engineering would be a better course for you.
He's a clear-cut engineering candidate, sir. We are actually
Yeah.
wasting our time.
Your weakness is that you're lazy and you procrastinate a lot.
I still think he's a good engineering student. He can procrastinate and
Yeah.
get away with engineering. We should do that.
You see.
Let's start with a short introduction about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Dev Yogesh Gehlot. I'm from Mumbai. I passed my 10th grade in ICSE from JBC International School, and I passed my 12th HSC from Mitibai College. As far as my academic achievements go, I have an IIYP bronze certification, a UMind Best Essay Award, and a Logic Quiz IQ Olympiad 35th rank in city. As far as inter-school competitions go, I have won essay competitions both in Hindi and English, and I have also won a Best Invention award from my school for an inter-school competition that we had. I've also been a part of the management of my Mathlete club and my green club in my school. Except for that, I'm someone who's been in love with motorcycles since as far as I can remember. You'll also find me naturally drawn towards natural landscapes and old school music. Some of my hobbies include cycling, swimming, playing chess, drawing, and playing squash. I also like to indulge in team sport activities like football, volleyball, and playing doubles badminton.
That weight? Okay, fine. You said something about an invention award. What was that?
Basically, my school hosts this thing called the Innovators Convention every year. We used to host it. And people come up with ideas to solve problems in the real life. Like, my invention was a motorcycle airbag.
Motorcycle airbag.
Airbag, yes.
Okay.
Because at that time, I had seen only cars had airbags, and my dad was an avid motorcyclist. So, I wanted something to, that was a problem for me. Like, I wanted there to be a safety switch on the motorcycle too. So, I came up with a tiny prototype about a airbag for motorcycles.
Why do you think it could solve the problem?
Because it will cushion the blow. Like, the one that I came up with had airbags coming outside the fairings. And the fairings are usually made of plastics or metals which can scrape and, and really good at absorbing the friction and the impact. With airbags, it could soften the blow, it could, protect the rider too, and yeah.
Okay. You say you are an avid motorcyclist.
My dad was.
Your dad is an avid motorcyclist. Okay. And you love bikes. How come?
Because, I've seen him go on all these rides and tours. I've gone along with him sometimes. And just the idea and the lifestyle that comes with motorcycling is something that I really like.
You just explain.
It's the freedom that you get on the open road. Well, basically, when you're on the open road, the only thing in your mind is the present. You forget about the past, you forget about the future, and you only focus on what's in front of you. And that's an relaxing experience, I'd say. Might not be relaxing for everyone, but even I ride cycles now and then, and even in cycling, it's the same thing. When I'm on the road, I only focus on the present. The only thing that matters to me is the moment.
So on a scale of 10, where would you rate yourself on familiarity with bikes?
9.
9? Wow, okay. So you understand also bikes. Okay. Is a 400cc bike faster than a 200cc bike?
It depends on a lot of factors. It depends on the cylinders involved, the aerodynamics of the bike, the weight of the bike, and the type of bike it is. Like a 400cc Triumph motorcycle is Definitely not as fast as a 250cc inline 4 Honda.
So can you explain this entire horsepower thing?
Oh, cc's and horsepowers are different. Like
Oh, acha.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain that also.
cubic centimeter is the capacity of the engine. It's like the amount of fuel that's present in the engine at a point of time. And the horsepower is the energy and power it produces out of the cylinder's capacity. And there's single cylinder bikes, there's twin cylinder bikes, and then there's 3 cylinders and 4 cylinders. Usually, the more the cylinders are, the more spark plugs there are, and the more air and fuel mixture comes inside the motorcycle. And that's how it produces more power. So, a single cylinder 400cc could produce, let's say, around 39-40 PS of power. Meanwhile, a parallel twin or a 400cc inline 4 could produce upwards of 100 horsepower.
Okay. Have you heard of something called as torque?
Yes.
What is the difference between torque and horsepower?
Torque is the power that is required to rotate the wheel, and horsepower is how fast that power is actually utilized.
Explain a little
Like
more.
a tractor has more torque than a Ferrari, but the tractor is slower than a Ferrari because a Ferrari has more horsepower than a tractor. Horsepower is the ability to use the torque quickly, and the torque is actually the power that moves the wheel.
Okay. Have you heard of something called as engine displacement?
Yes, that is CC.
That is
That is the CC of the bike.
That's the CC of the bike. Okay, fine. As a business, do you think it's a automobile industry? The current automobile industry is a growing industry, and what are your views on the entire electric bikes also coming into the market?
Frankly, I have a bit of a polarizing view on electric bikes, and overall the motorcycle industry is really booming right now, especially because of the youth. They're going towards a more passion driven concept of motorcycling rather than a commute driven concept of motorcycling. In the early 2000s, it was all about reliability, like the Hero Splendor or the Passion. They were bikes that would give you good mileage and all of that. But now the youth is driven towards more of a performance oriented market, which is really something that's been explored a lot in India, but there's still a lot of stuff to do with that market. Companies like Bajaj and TVS and Hero are really expanding their 125, 150cc models to inculcate more of this performance oriented experience. And as far as electric bikes go, they're a completely different model to motorcycling. They're basically, I'd say, they're green, they save on fuel, and it's a concept that's really unexplored in India. But companies like Ultraviolet and Ather are trying to provide good quality electrical motorcycles and scooters, but I feel like they don't really capture the concept of motorcycling as well as the internal combustion engine does.
So combustion is the factor that they are missing as an industry.
Internal combustion is the petrol engines.
Correct.
They provide a different feel to motorcycling than what the electric ones do. Electric ones just feel like you're riding a toy bike, frankly. And motorcycles have clutches and they have different gearing ratios, and there's a lot of other stuff to keep in mind.
So that industry can gravitate towards only the petrol combustion engine can only be the hobby bikers market.
Yes,
and
EVs can be
else
more
go to EV,
practical.
no?
EVs can be more practical. Like scooters, I think the scooter market is going to shift towards the electric vehicle. Or like the Ola scooters right now are really famous because EVs are meant to be practical. They are meant to be fun per se. And motorcycles, they can be anything. They're versatile. Petrol engines are versatile in nature.
Okay.
So what is this Mathlete club?
Yeah, it's a combination of the words math and athlete. And that club basically presented fun activities and puzzles and anagrams for all the members of the club, like solving Sudokus and fun math puzzles and anagrams and geometry related concepts.
Okay, so suppose there is a race among 10 horses and there are 3 horses named say A, B and C. So what is the probability that A comes ahead of B and B in turn comes ahead of C?
Can I use a pen and paper? think it's a 1 in 720 chance.
1 in 720. How?
Because there's a 1 in 10 chance that A comes ahead of the 9 other horses.
No, I'm not saying 9 other horses. A comes ahead of B and B in turn comes ahead of C.
Sorry. I don't know.
Now, if I say that probability that while this interview is going on, the probability that a tiger walks in is 1/2. Because there are only 2 elements in their set, right? Either tiger comes or tiger doesn't come. So probability is 1/2. So what is wrong in this?
Probability of a tiger comes in half.
Because either tiger comes or it doesn't come. So there are only 2 elements in that solution there.
So mathematically, sir is saying there is 50% chance of a tiger walking in right now. Do you believe that?
No, so I don't believe.
So what is wrong in the probability being 50% here?
The premise isn't very common. Like the tiger, you have to have a tiger outside that will come in or do not come in, because sorry, I can't explain it clearly.
Clearly. Okay. If I say that average salary in a company is 50,000 rupees, does that mean most of the employees are earning 50,000 rupees?
No, sir. Most average salary of 50,000 could be like. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No. Average salary could be like the value of salary. You could be talking about salaries between 1 lakh and 1 CR, and many employees are in the 50,000 range, or you could be talking about, it will depend on the number of employees and the range of the salary offered.
So what is a better indicator if I want to make a statement that most of my employees earn, let's say, a particular range, 50,000? What's a better indicator? Is average the best indicator or there can be something else?
I think median might be a better indicator.
Okay. You think or you're sure?
I think.
You think. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. So Mathlete, I think you've already solved Sudokus. Nothing great you've done in Mathlete is what I gather.
Part of managing it, I wasn't really involved in the activities.
Okay. Great. Why do you want to come to IIM Rohtak?
Because IIM Rohtak's curriculum is holistic. I've seen that there's coding involved in it, there's humanities subjects involved in it, and there's mathematics is also a good background, which I'm weak at, so I'll be able to strengthen that over there. And the faculty over there is visiting faculties from IITs and NLUs and many other abroad universities, which is, I feel like, a really great bonus to have.
What do you think my institute will gain if we select it?
If you select me, then you will have someone with a goal, and my goal is to transform the automotive industry in India, which I can only do if I have a good bachelor's degree and a good MBA.
That's your problem, not my problem to solve.
I am going to be determined to. You're gonna have a good alumni, because once I go out of that college, I am going to do something great with that industry, and the skills that I'll need for that are going to come from your college, which is why I'm selecting the college. And okay, sorry.
So can you name some outstanding alumni of IIM Rohtak?
Sir, I don't know any alumni from IIM Rohtak.
So what specific skills or what specific subjects related to automotive industry do you expect to study at IIM Rohtak?
I expect to study economics on, which will obviously help me determine the sales figures and analyze companies and analyze the market structure in motorcycling industry. I want to learn skills on management and human resources and logistics management, because logistics is a big part of the motorcycling industry. And I also plan on learning skills related to communication and behavioral psychology.
Now, when you finish your course, at that time, if there is no company related to automotive industry visiting the campus, and suppose you get placed into a pharma company, so will you say no?
Now, I will take that experience.
So what's so special about automotive industry?
That's where my passion lies. That is my end goal and something that I really want to do with my life. But before that, obviously, I'll need to gain experience. I'll need to build my finances, and I'll just
Build your finances.
I'll have to earn at that time, right?
Ah, okay. So you're talking about once you start working.
You genuinely think you need to build your finances to follow your passion?
I do. I mean, motorcycling is expensive.
Motorcycle is expensive. Okay. Okay. Have you studied any particular motorcycle company?
I mean, I not specifically companies, but I do a lot of research on the new models that come in and where they're coming from, which country do the parts come from, and which companies are affiliated with Indian companies, which international companies are affiliated in Indian companies, and they're selling motorcycles to the Indian company.
What is the benchmark percentage of the yearly budget that these companies put in R&D?
I don't know, so.
If you become the CEO, what would be your number?
The way I want to improve the motorcycling industry is, I feel like not through R&D, but my approach would be reviving classic motorcycles and a more focus on restoration of old models. I want to
More like a second-hand dealer.
not exactly, but see if
You'll refurbish all the old Royal Enfields and Yamahas and bring them back on the.
So what I want to do is for companies to have established centers where they can bring old motorcycles which they own. Like, for example, someone was an old TVS motorcycle and they wanted renewed. So now there is no specific market for it today. But if the company itself provides that service, then many people will get their motorcycles renewed through us, and then.
Why do you think there is money to make there? If I get you a 25-year-old Passion or a Splendor that I used to use at some point in time, what is the budget you think it'll take for me to refurbish it or maybe bring it back on the road?
If I am the.
Assuming it is still allowed as per the government regulations.
It is, restoration is allowed. If I am the manufacturer of that motorcycle, I have manufactured it before, then getting parts won't be very expensive for me. I'll have parts. If I have spares, then I'll take it from the warehouses, and if I don't, I'll manufacture them. So I'd say the estimated cost should be around 25 to 30,000 for a full restoration. And it kind of depends on the quality of the motorcycle, how well maintained it was, and what are the parts that are missing and stuff.
Okay. Okay. So you're so much into automobiles and especially motorcycles.
Yes.
So I believe BE in automobile engineering would be a better course for you.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer thing. You should definitely go and do your automobile engineering. Why are you wasting your time at an IIM?
But sir, I am not very proficient at physics and sciences, so it's really difficult for me to be in that field. I feel like management would come naturally to
Why
me.
do you think you are proficient in accounts and economics? We are going to be very rigorous about it anyway. You are not going to do well there also.
Accounts and mathematics, I feel like I can still learn and do better over there. But physics, I wasn't really that good at.
So you already worked on physics at 11th and 12th,
No,
up to 10th.
yes, up to.
So you spent at least 3 years learning physics and then you realize that you're not good at physics.
Yeah.
So what is the guarantee that you spend some years on accounting and finance and other things? And later you realize that you're not good at it. So what will you do?
So I feel like this is a risk that I'm willing to take. I mean, I won't have any other option except for this. And
That's a risk we are not willing to take, no? He's a clear-cut engineering candidate, sir. We are actually wasting our time. Okay, anyway, Dev, what's your view on de-dollarization?
can you come again, sir?
De-dollarization.
I don't know the talk.
You have no idea about de-dollarization. Okay, let me make it simple for you. Have you heard of these tariffs imposed by the President of the United States? What are those? And have they existed suddenly that Mr. Donald Trump has come into power, or were they always there and they suddenly just come into the news?
I think they've come into the news. I'm not sure about this, but I think they've come into
First,
the
tell me what are tariffs, and then let's go into the.
tariffs are the taxes imposed on exports and imports by a particular country on other countries
Why do we need to do that?
to establish the value of our currency and maintain our currency's value, right?
To maintain our currency's value, we
To
should impose tariffs.
maintain our country's presence in the international markets.
So we should have more tariffs.
No.
Or less tariffs.
Not really experienced in that particular area.
Have you heard of this whole Strait of Hormuz thing? Where is it located?
It is in Iran. It is in the senior Iran.
And what is the whole hullabaloo about Strait of Hormuz going on currently? Is it finally open or not open?
No, it did. I'm not sure about whether it's open right now or not, but from what I've heard is Iran is controlling the Strait of Hormuz and it is not allowing ships to pass by, which is affecting oil prices in India and gas prices in India because 85% of our imports come from the Strait of Hormuz.
So don't you think this is the worst time in life to be in love with motorcycle industry? Yes, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Have you heard of this thing called diminishing marginal utility?
Yes.
Explain.
Diminishing marginal utility is basically when you consume one particular product multiple times and the satisfaction you get from consuming that product multiple times diminishes with each increase in the product that you consume.
Which means there is no repeat consumption, or rather the repeat consumption keeps dying.
No, the repeat consumption, basically if you purchase 3 apples and you eat one, then you're satisfied. If you eat 2, they'll be a little satisfied with the second one. And if you eat the third one, you'll be even more less satisfied with the third apple. That is the concept of DMU.
So is there any particular industry that can leverage this particular concept and thrive?
I can't think of any industry.
You can't think of any industry. Okay. Okay. Fine.
So your weakness is that you're lazy and you procrastinate a lot. So in a B school, you will be required to work almost like 16 to 18 hours a day. So how do we trust that you will be able to cope up with this requirement?
I still think he's a good engineering student. He can procrastinate and get away with engineering. We should do that. It will suit your lifestyle.
Yes, sir. For that, I'll obviously have to learn. I mean, the first couple of months might be rough, and over time, I'll get inspired by my peers or take help from them and learn how to survive in a B school and eventually build the skills to improve my weakness.
So what is your favorite book?
One that I recently read was The Book of Fire Rings by Miyamoto Musashi.
So what is it all about?
It's all about the life and teachings of Miyamoto Musashi, who was a Japanese samurai, and a ronin, which is basically a samurai without a master. It's divided into 5 parts, which is the Earth Scroll, the Fire Scroll, the Water Scroll, and the Void Scroll, and the Air Scroll. These 5 schools, as he says, are about different teachings in life. Like the Earth Scroll is about the foundations and what all skills you should acquire to be successful in life and what all method, like be building a strong foundation for something else to be built upon. And all of this isn't clearly stated in the book. The book is all about martial arts, but contextually everything that is said in the book is relevant to that art times today.
So how do you define success?
To me, success is something that's that you get well, you achieve your goal, and success to me might be getting into a good B school and getting fulfilling all my dreams, which is to see restored motorcycles on the streets in India, and yeah, pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
So what is happening with rupee these days? Why is rupee depreciating so much?
The price of the rupee, I think, is depreciating so much because of the heavy imports that we have to make, and because we have to import oil from Russia now, and that's creating a toll.
Russian oil is cheaper than the Gulf oil, right?
That's a good part, no?
They are offering discounters.
I wasn't aware of that part.
Fine. Okay. Thank you. Hey.
So your interview is over, and I'll begin with the feedback. So how do you think it went?
Not very good.
Not very. See, one definite feedback that I can give you is you have to bring more energy to table. So it appeared as if you're disinterested.
I work on that, sir.
Right? So you have to maybe bring some voice modulation, and you should appear more eager and interested. See, because if you appear disinterested, then you are making their job easy. Right? So they have one less candidate to choose from. Right? Now, when it comes to your passion about motorcycles, having said that, everything is fine, but don't bring that angle so many times in the interview. You want to go for IPM program because you want to do something related to motorcycles. No? So that link appears very weak.
So how should I change that?
So you can bring that motorcycling as just a base. That is one industry, automotive industry, and just like motorcycle industry or automotive industry, there are so many other industries like pharma, IT, banking, different type of manufacturing, different industries. Now, different industries may have different dynamics, and I'm curious about it. How do they handle their functionalities? And wherever you go, a human aspect is going to be there. I want to learn more about it. So I want to learn more about business functionalities and how different forces affect the working of day-to-day working of businesses, and also long-term plan. Right? So that way, I will get that understanding in a B school, and that's why I want to go for IPM.
So all your motorcycle answers need to go one level above and one level maybe more general. If you understand well how a company functions, you can work in an automobile company. No? If you understand how to manage a team, you can still work in an automobile company managing the team. So it doesn't have to be that I want to manage a team in Bajaj. And that's my life goal.
Just want to learn how to manage a team.
हाँ, so एक level ऊपर make it a little more broader in terms of your goal and in terms of what you are trying to achieve by doing this particular course. You end up getting into an industry of your choice is a different thing. Okay, but yes, as sir said, everything should not gravitate towards one same thing.
Then you mentioned you're weak at maths, and you were the head of that Mathlete club. So now you see the problem here, right? That's why, because I read this, you're the head of that Mathlete club. That's why some questions on mathematics came in. That probability of the horses and tiger and all that. Right?
So either you buck up on maths or you don't talk about Mathlete. One of the two has to happen. Okay.
Then the de-dollarization.
I need to brush up on that.
So I conducted one session. I conducted two sessions. In the second session, I talked about de-dollarization. So what is it all about? See, one other definite feedback that I can give you is in this interview, we were somewhat struggling that what question we should ask you. And that is not so that is not a very good situation to be in the interview. The interviewer should not struggle to ask you questions, right?
I thought you were a little nervous to begin with, and therefore probably it showed up as lack of confidence, as very low volume in your answers. Even when you were answering about motorcycle, I did not see that spark in your eye or that enthusiasm. I could not sense it in your voice. It should have been there, at least in your motorcycle answers. If you are saying the level of enthusiasm that you have for that, even if you are at 50% of that, it should come out when you're answering about those things in particular, which was missing today. So even your motorcycle answer was also in the exact same demeanor, exact same volume, exact same pitch. It should not have been. So that's definitely the thing that you need to work on. So nervousness, you'll have to get over it. Maybe in a 2 or 3 more mock interviews, you should be at a better place. But yes, there's definitely a lot of academics for you to catch up on. Economics also, little bit of accounts also, definitely some part of maths, because that is always tested. So you cannot just not do that. And as sir said, you will have to refresh your current affairs knowledge also. Understand broadly what all factors are affecting India as an economy more than anything else. Not India as a country, but India as an economy. How is it getting affected? What are we doing when we are buying Russian oil? What are we doing when we are buying oil from Iran? So how has that entire equation changed? What is happening to the rupee? Why is it happening? Etc. etc. So all of this is linked. Once you start reading, you will start getting your answer.
Just give me any 3 to 4 topics that I should really focus on for current affairs.
The entire geopolitics currently, it's impossible that if the interviewer wants to test you on geopolitics and the economy wala question or the oil import, crude, Strait of Hormuz does not come into the play, it is going to be impossible. So if the interviewer thinks of asking anything from geopolitics, this is the first thing that the question will come. So you definitely cannot be clueless about it. Okay? Yeah, your answers on bikes were more or less in place. I just think you need to be a little more passionate about answering those questions. And also, your first answer I thought was content-wise it is good. Delivery-wise it definitely needs a lot of improvement. But content-wise also, I think you should limit to maybe 2 or 3 things at max. Don't tell me so many things, because then it does not really tell me. Because I read your form, I understood that you are a motorcycle enthusiast, and I went there. But in your answer, there was only one line about motorcycle. And then because I asked you a host of follow-up questions on motorcycles, as a panel, we could gather that you are a motorcycle enthusiast. But your answer did not tell me that. So you can focus maybe slightly more, maybe one more sentence on motorcycles, and maybe cut down on a lot of other things, like your sports. And you said about individual sports also, you said about team sports also. Maybe you can cut down that and all of that. So, maybe a little more focused on exactly where you want to drive the interview. Only those 2 or 3 things max should come in your about yourself. Okay? And yes, definitely you need to work on your strengths, your weaknesses, and all of that. It's the kind of questions or the extent to which we were asking about motorcycle. It was a very obvious track that we could have taken, that you should do your automobile engineering, and you did not really have a comeback for it. So you need to convince us that you are good at understanding businesses, looking at businesses, understanding management, and you really want to do that and not get into technicalities of CCs and cylinders and engines and etc. etc. So prepare that answer very well.
So I should have focused more on why I might be good at this rather than why I'm bad at that.
Exactly. Yes.
Otherwise, that question will come. The question that I ask you. And you spent 3 years studying physics and then you realize you're not good at it. Right?
Fine. Okay. That'll be it. You have any questions?
Yes. How could I improve my delivery and
Is this how you are generally also in life? Is this the demeanor with your friends? Are you a little more chirpy, more energetic, or less?
more energetic?
So then that has to come here. You will have to I know it is not, but you will have to treat it like a conversation. And you have to bring in that energy. People tend to overcompensate, in fact, in interviews, but you will have to at least try to compensate and come out like a normal conversation. It cannot be that from the first question people are here to grill you and therefore you are very nervous, etc., etc. But I think it will come with a little more, few more mock PIs. It will come, but that energy has to be there. So don't take it as a lot of judgment oriented conversation. It has to be more a free flowing conversation, and it's your responsibility to make it one. Okay.
And also think of all the prospects that getting an admission into this program will open to you. So it will take your entire life and entire career into a different trajectory. So don't you feel enthusiastic about it?
I've been thinking wrong about this the whole time.
Then I missed out on one point. You talked about alumni. So the question on that alumni will come. Name some famous alumni. Right? So just make sure that whatever thing you're talking about, you know about it. And that's why I'm selecting your college. Are you serious?
Maybe it was a bad reply.
That's why I applied for admission. You're not selecting the college.
Yeah, nervousness, one thing led to the other. So you'll have to be very careful.
Panicked a lot and I said the
Yeah, it was quite evident. Fine. Okay. Thank you, Dev. All the best.
All the best.